I love the Juno-6. I love the Juno-60. I love the Juno-106. It's a polyphonic, digitally controlled analog synthesizer with memory and arpeggiator, a cool chorus effect, and it sounds amazing. In 1982, synthesizers had seeped into the landscape of everything. The sound of the synth pad was like a line across the pavement in spray paint, which said the 60s and 70s were finally gone. Now it was the 80s. Now it was the future. Roland introduced the Juno-6 in 1982 at a suggested retail price of $1,295, a 6-voice analog manual control polyphonic synthesizer. Featured a 5-octave keyboard, artificial wood grain side panels, 6 low-pass filter chips, 6 VCA chips, 6 envelope chips, a high-pass filter, a fantastic 24 dB low-pass filter that resonated and screamed, a stereo chorus effect with Type 1, Type 2, or the extra super secret press both buttons and get Type 3. An arpeggiator that was just unstoppably inspirational. A hold button so your arpeggiations could go on and on. A pitch bend, a modulation key, as well as an external clock input to synchronize your arpeggiate. Consider no MIDI. So on the back panel, there's no MIDI in or out. There's not even a DCB bus. There's no way to synchronize what you're doing except the clock input. Stick the rim shot out of your drum machine or other gate or pulse signal and sync up that arpeggiate and get the Juno playing all by itself right along in time with your drum machine. It doesn't seem like much by modern standards, and it doesn't seem affordable or small, but in 1982 this was tiny and almost within reach of a lot more artists, art students, misanthropes, would-be musicians, bored punk rockers than the $5,000 Jupiter 8 or OBX. They were twice as heavy, twice the size, making the Juno seem like a lightweight bargain by comparison. The Juno, including the 6, the 60, and the 106, were widely embraced because of their availability. Like many affordable synths from the 80s, secondhand shops filled up with piles of them, and the price dropped to about $300 by 1990. That's where the post-synth pop fun began. But because of the nature of maintaining analog circuitry, the ever-changing integrated circuit, the migration from the art of analog circuit design to the digital or virtual realm, the Juno-6, the 60, the 106, the MKS series, the Alpha Juno, the JX series, they all sort of faded from use, and they faded from view. Between 1990 and 2010, the vintage price of a Juno-6 more than octupled. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't practical. The synthesizer that had democratized polyphonic synthesis had left the hands of the people and gone into the realm of the vintage, the rare, the collectible, the expensive. In 2014, Roland launched a cute little line of digital synths called the Boutique. They were a limited edition run of reproductions of the Jupiter 8, the Juno 106, and the JX3P 4-voice mini synths, which used an interesting ACB technology which actually models the behavior of analog circuits digitally and allowed these futuristic reproductions of vintage synthesizers to be produced for just $299. My 2016 live ground tour, I embraced this idea completely, and I curated my spaceship with only modern and currently available synthesizers to demonstrate this basic idea and to show people that it was absolutely possible. You didn't have to be an expert or an electrical engineer or a vintage synthesizer enthusiast to actually get out into the world, get out into the club, get out in front of people and play live. Once again, this boutique line put the polysynth back within reach of the people, and this time it was a previous version of the future by looking at the past and reproducing it now in a modern way. In 2017, Mark and Craig St. Regis of Studio Electronics introduced the Tone Star 8106. Not exactly a copy of the Juno, rather an analog take on the ARP 2600 VCO with a Jupiter Juno filter. Eurorack is an exciting format where the musician is able to curate each component of his instrument and then interrelate the modules together to create an infinite number of inspiring and deeply preoccupying relationships. The 8106 is monophonic. It's got a mono output, so the chorus effect of the Juno is approximated with the LFO modulation, but the pulse saw subwaveforms, high-pass, low-pass filters spot on. Some people might like to add this modern analog miracle into their main Eurorack case, but not me, no. I wanted to have this complete synth voice out on the console of my spaceship to be able to interact with more than just my Eurorack gear. It's 32 HP, which is exactly the size of the Dope4 Mini case or Beauty case. But the Dope4 A100 Mini power supply is just too small for the 8106. All I got out of it was garbled noise. So I built the Rasmussen power supply from France. I ordered the PCB, I arrived, I sourced the parts, I put it together. I thought maybe 300 milliamps would do it. All I got was almost an octave in tune. Frustrated, I tried the Frequency Central Mini Power DIY supply. I felt surely the 500 milliamps would work perfectly. No dice. I tried a 9-volt transformer, a 12-volt, 1 amp, 2 amp, 2.5 amps, 3 amps, AC, DC, DC, AC. Nothing worked. So I modified the Dope4 Mini case. I cut it down to 65 millimeters. I added a 4 HP hole on the side and mounted the 4MS Row 40 power module. And at last, the standalone 81.6 came to life, and it stayed in tune. In the spirit of putting analog synthesis, knobs, sliders, filters, envelopes into the hands of the people, I love the Juno-6. The democratization of the future. Access to the raw materials to create the soundtracks to your dreams right here, right now.